Namaste, this is Rajesh from AI Minute. AI is everywhere these days, in banks, in support teams, even in customer onboarding. But not every idea can be done first, right? That's where this season will help. In this video, we are going to learn how to prioritize AI projects in the smartest way. Not just based on how cool they sound, but based on the real business impact, safety, and readiness. I'll take you through a live use case and compare the two ways of prioritization. By the end, you will know how to pick the right AI projects with confidence. So let's get started, guys. So these days, every company is excited about AI, whether it's for chatbot, automation, fraud detection, or loan approvals. But let's be honest, not every idea can be done at the same time, right? So the big question is, how do we decide which one to go first? That's where AI prioritization will come. Today we'll look at the two approaches of doing this. One is quantitative approach, which is used by most of the tools in the market. Another one is qualitative approach used by ServiceNow AI Control Tower. Now let's start with a real-time example to see how this basically calculation, what is this approach is all about. Let's say the bank in India getting thousands of auto loan applications every month. They want to use AI to speed up approvals and reduce the manual effort. On the paper, this looks like a very good use case. Saves time, improves efficiency, all sounds good, but there is a problem. What if the AI is biased? What if it rejects the genuine customers just because it learned the wrong data from the wrong data? What if breaks the RBI rules and regulations? That's why just cost is not enough. Okay, so now the question is, how do most companies handle this today? So that brings us to our first approach, which is quantitative approach of handling prioritization. In most of the companies, when they want to pick AI projects, they follow the simple method. Rather, I will make it very simple for you to understand. They give a score. They rate each idea on impact, feasibility, and frequency. Okay. For the bank's AI, the score might be say 9, 10, 9, 8, and 10. And when you sum up, it will be 27, which is out of 30. It's a quite a good score, right? I mean, this project scored 27 out of 30. But have you ever realized it missed few factors? This method is very fast, quick. It sounds very fascinating. It will help you to shortlist the idea quickly, but there is a catch. It only tell you what is visible on the surface, what you can see. But if you go a little deeper, right, you will see a lot of things are missing here. Let's see what is that approach. Let's dig deeper into beneath the surface. Now, this is very important slide. Now just think, is the 27 out of 30 was enough from the previous slide? Is it enough to trust that AI model with real people loan approval? What if the data is biased? What if the privacy isn't handled well? What if AI fails an RBI audit? There are risk and compliance gaps that sit below the surface, like the bottom part of an iceberg. That's why we say the true priority is not just the top part of a score. It is also the below factors like risk factors, compliance gaps. Now your score, for example, let's subtract 5 points for the risk and 4 for the compliance gaps, right? So if I reduce 27 minus 9, which is 5 plus 4 is 9, so I will reduce 9 from that 27, which was the quantitative score, right? Then the actual score is 18. That's the real score. And that's exactly the second method in ServiceNow AI Control Tower is meant to solve. It focuses on responsibility and governance. So this below the surface part of a iceberg is what ServiceNow is doing. Let's see how it works. Now just think, okay, unlike the number based method in what we have seen it in quantitative approach, the qualitative approach in ServiceNow AI Control Tower focus more on the governance and the safety. Here, the AI project is reviewed by legal, risk, and compliance teams even before it gets started. They ask questions like, is it ethical? Is it explainable? Does it follow all the rules and regulations? These questions are built in and also it is embedded with approval process. So even if the use case looks great in numbers, the quantitative score 27, remember, it can't go forward unless it passes all these assessment checks. And that's a big strength of ServiceNow AI CT. Now let's see, now think little broader. What if we have an hybrid approach, mixing both quantitative approach and qualitative approach? We will get best of both the worlds, right? So let's see what happens. Now let's now bring both the approaches together. First, we start with the quantitative score. In our case, it was 27. That comes from impact, feasibility, and frequency. Remember that table, right? We added impact, frequency, and feasibility. Next, we identify the risk. Maybe the model is biased or there is a weak privacy control. Then we assign a penalty of -5 risk points. Just presume. And if an AI team has a strong governance practice in the place, like legal clearance or audit readiness, then we will give the bonus of +2 on the governance. That will give you the final score of 24. Now, why 24 is better than 27? Because it contains everything, all the factors, right? It contains everything from iceberg tip to bottom, not just the top part, not just the bottom part. It contains everything and it gives you the full picture. Okay, because we accounted for governance, not just deducted the risk, so the 24 becomes a very balanced score. This is, see, being fast is not enough. We have to be safe too, right? So what happens when the multiple projects get the same score? How do you handle that? It's quite simple. Let's say all the three use cases have the same score, 24, 24, 24. And then what? How do we pick the best one to start with? This is quite self-explanatory. In such cases, we go beyond the numbers. We look at the strategic fit, which one supports the business goal better. We check the team readiness, the one with the one with less friction, and we check the approvals, the one which has a green signals from legal. That's how the qualitative checks helps us to break the tie when numbers looks equal. So guys, let's wrap this up and with one simple powerful formula to remember, which is my favorite slide. Readiness. So remember the simple formula to remember when the planning any AI projects. It starts with impact plus feasibility plus frequency. This is your base score. Then subtract risk. After that, add a points for governance, compliance, and strategic fit. That tells you the number if the project is really ready or not. And now finally, let me leave you with one powerful message. Don't just build AI fast, build it right. Yes, that's my final message. That's a last slide. Thank you for watching, and I hope this season gives you clear and simple way to think about AI prioritization, especially when using tools like ServiceNow AI Control Tower. We'll keep sharing more examples, more topics every week. If this helped you, do share with your team or clients, because AI success starts with the first right step. Namaste and thank you for